What's up, everybody? You're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast, where we bring you news you can use in 10 minutes. And as always, I'm joined by my friend and world traveler extraordinaire.
This is Eric.
And Eric, as I just mentioned, you like to travel.
I don't, but okay.
But
You'll hear why in a moment.
well, my friend, I got great news for you. We are doing a travel newscast. So you'll know all the things about travel, where to travel, where not to travel, and how to travel properly.
I think we're kind of focusing on plane travel
Well,
as our primary transportation mechanism.
planes, trains, and automobiles, my friend.
Yeah?
That was a great movie, but
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with this deal. So you got 10 minutes. 10 minutes on the Death Star, Death Star, whatever we call it. In 3, 2, 1. Eric, hit us with that first story.
Well, this story comes out of India. The Jet Airways flight in India traveling from Mumbai to Jaipur.
Nailed it.
Got it. If you guys ever need help with your language,
Pronunciation. Eric will tell you how to pronounce
I got it all covered.
Yeah, Eric will tell you how to pronounce them correctly.
So if you're afraid of flying, you shouldn't listen to this story at all. While the plane
Hang on, Eric. Let him give him a
I'm
second
giving him a chance to
get
turn
out
it
of the
off.
room. Turn out of the room. Either that or leave.
Yeah. But we know that there's multiple people listening at each listening station.
Thousands upon thousands listening.
So the plane passengers, they took off, and 45 minutes into flight, the plane had to turn around and go emergency land. Airplane passengers' ears and nose started bleeding.
Holy cow.
So what happened, Nick?
All at once, like a lot of people's, or just one person?
Several people, about 30 people. There's a
Holy
flight of
cow.
about 166 people. It's a 737. 30 out of that 166 started having issues with blood coming out of their nose or ears.
Holy cow. What was going on this plane?
Well, you would think that would be some sickness or some sort of violent outbreak of some sort. No.
I mean, there's been a lot of planes that have had to be diverted because of, like, illness and that sort of thing. What... And Ebola? Is that...
It could have been, but no. The pilot had forgotten to pressurize the cabin. That's it. The pilot literally forgot to flip a switch. So...
Holy cow. That's devastating.
Yeah, and you don't want to look at the pictures like it's not pretty with blood coming out of people's faces. It's... man. So, as a result, the oxygen mask dropped, and passengers were they're not thrilled when that happens. And it turned back around. The crew forgot to switch a switch to maintain cabin pressure. Apparently there's a switch that the pilot hits to maintain cabin pressure.
It basically seals everything up?
I guess I would think that would switch automatically, or at least have a warning light on it.
I would hope that they would switch that. That might be something that they switch whenever they close the doors.
Like, yeah, it's not. Why is it not tied to something?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a lot about aircraft. So that's my travel story.
That's a major oversight.
That you would think. I'd be curious to know if you work in the airline and you know about planes and how this switch works. Leave us a message on Facebook. Just search for Wheel Chair Podcast. Find this show and leave a comment and tell us how that could happen.
Right. I mean, that just seems like something that would automatically... You would almost think that would have to be an automatic system inside the plane that would do that, because that's a hazard. I mean, obviously, if 30 people ended up having bloody nose and that sort of thing... Of course, this will lead into, I'm hoping, some kind of lawsuit. But Eric, I've got another story about
you have a story
of a plane that had to make an emergency landing. This one hits closer to home, though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, my friend. Back on September 22nd, a couple days ago.
Yeah, this happened on the 22nd.
This happened on the 22nd?
Yeah.
Ooh. Anyway, A plane had to make an emergency landing in Oklahoma City
What?
at the Will Rogers Airport after a man from Clearfield, Utah headbutted a flight attendant.
Wow. Was it a Mormon? They refused. Was it? It was.
Well,
I won't get into that.
I was gonna say I don't think he was a Mormon because he was drunk, and they're not known for their drinking.
I've been to Utah. I saw a lot of liquor stores.
Yeah, there are quite a few liquor stores, but it says a man by the name of Derek Moss, Maas. If you know this individual or you are listening, please go to Facebook, find us, tell your side of the story. But he was arrested at 1:45 a.m. on Friday because he apparently he'd asked for a drink on the plane. A flight attendant could tell from Moss's behavior that he was intoxicated and told the rest of the flight crew not to serve the man alcohol. However, this man did not believe that he was apparently drunk.
He didn't know he was three sheets to the wind.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't agree. And he'd already been served 2 drinks, but he does what anybody would do to get their point across in any argument. You know, they teach you this in debate class. If you ever get into an argument, if you want to win the argument, headbutt the other person.
That's how debate works.
That's how you drive your point home. You lead with the head. And so that's what this man did. He had when the flight crew members had denied him more drinks, Moss apparently stood up and headbutted Sergeant Gary Knight. According to
Knight?
No. According to Sergeant Gary Knight with the Oklahoma City Police, he headbutted the flight attendant.
Oh.
And so he was restrained with zip ties, and he apparently served the night in prison here in the greater Oklahoma City area.
Well, he is lucky to be counted as one of the lucky few or lucky whole bunches, because Oklahoma is known for one of the highest rates of incarceration in the United States, and which the United States has the highest rate of incarceration in the world. So,
yeah, I've always wondered what it would be like, you know, on flights that I've taken, and I've taken a few flights.
You've flown more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where I was, I'd come home for Christmas or things like that. Nothing like this ever happened on any of the flights I was on. I've always wondered what it would be like to be someone on one of these flights where all of a sudden a drunk man stands up and headbutts, or some of the other stories that you and I have reported on where the woman ran up and down the screaming, running up and down the...
Oh, yeah, she got, freaked out.
Yeah, she freaked out. I mean, there's all these things that happen. I'm like, none of this stuff ever happens. And I'm okay with that, kind of, but I mean, it would bring a little bit more excitement to the trip. Well, my friend, if you ever do travel, I'm going to tell you about a certain airline you might want to stay away from.
A company.
Ryanair. And not our good friend Ryan, but Ryanair, they are having a few issues. Recently, they had a baggage handler that stole a one of those wireless Bluetooth speakers out of a bag. He ended up getting arrested, but yeah, he tried to put it in his pocket. The only thing that got him caught was somebody was filming from the plane, and it shows him open up the bag, and he puts it in his pocket. The other thing that recently happened is that a man got arrested from Ryanair because he refused to pay his $22 drinking bill after he got moved out of his extra legroom seat. He apparently had the the exit seat, but they made him move for some employee of Ryanair for a technical problem, is what they told him. And so he started saying that they should comp him for his, for his hassle of losing his seat.
So he drank a whole 2 drinks on that flight.
Yeah, I mean, he drank 2 drinks, basically. I mean, that's what equals about $22 on a flight. But yeah, I mean, he apparently got disruptive. I mean, he had more than that, but he had, then ordered 2 cans of beer and 2 mini bottles of wine during the flight. And so he refused to pay his $22 bill that he racked up.
Wow.
And of course, as any bar you go to, they're going to call the police if you refuse to pay.
They sure will.
And so this is why I'm telling you, stay away from Ryanair. Ryanair has a few issues, my friend.
Apparently, they're a troublesome airline. They're a low. If you don't know what Ryanair is, it's a. Oh, you're going to have to find out on your own.
You know what? You're going to have to look it up because our 10 minutes are up. We are now at the will of the Death Star guest star. Eric, tell them where they can find us.
Well, as we said, you can find us all over the internet on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. On Twitter, search for Pull Up a Chair at Pull Up a Chair Pod. I'm sorry, tweet us at that. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, every podcasting app. Clearly, just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. And that's all I got.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. If you're out there traveling, you know what? Be safe. Have fun. But stay away from Ryanair. And anybody else that might be coming after you. So, you know what? Have yourself a great day.
Bye.